let's go, right? But she is also addressing the fact that she's not going to be involved in every rep. This is something Stephanie White talked about. This is something Caitlin Clark herself is talking about. And that is that at this point in the season, I don't need to be in every single rep. I need to be wise with my body. Do not read that to mean she's not.
Caitlin Clark is clearly trying to stop any rumors before they even begin. She is saying that she is healthy and ready, but also being careful with her body during training camp. She feels the need to say this because last season, everything she did was closely watched, analyzed, and often turned into drama. However, what really matters on the first day of Indiana Fever training camp is not just her managing her workload. It's also that coach Stephanie White is bringing in a new defensive system, and the team has made roster changes to fit that style and support her plan.
I love that about Caitlin. You can't miss that people are looking for narratives. She used the word story, same thing. People are looking for narratives. They want to read whether she twitched her eye a little bit, which means that she's upset about something. She's like, look, there's no story about any of this. Look, none of that.
You through that? Well, I mean, I think speaking to last year, like obviously I was in about no reps because I wasn't playing.
Yes, there's a bit of sarcasm in how that frustration comes through. Caitlin Clark seems fed up with people rewriting last season's story as if she played a full year with the Fever. In reality, she only played 13 games, got injured in the playoffs against the Connecticut Sun, and missed the rest of the postseason. Still, many analysts have spent the offseason criticizing coaching choices and suggesting how she should have been used differently, even though she wasn't actually on the court for most of the season. So from her perspective, all these hot takes feel unfair and disconnected from what really happened, and she's clearly tired of that narrative continuing.
I think we'll be able to do some more things on the defensive end of the floor. I think we'll hopefully be a better rebounding team as well, and that'll allow us to play a little bit more in transition. You know, we were limited because of not just our personnel, but our numbers in terms of being able to pressure full court, being able to play with pace. I think we were like 5th in the league in pace, and we want to be in the top 2 or 3. So we want to play faster. You know, we'll look and see what we have in combinations and what we can do in the quarter-court. But I think more than anything, we want to be a bear on the defensive end of the floor. We want to be in the top 3 in the league in defense, and we want to play.
This is where things get really interesting from a tactical point of view. Stephanie White is basically explaining her full defensive plan here, and if you understand basketball, you can see why it's important for Indiana Fever's championship goals this season. The target is simple: become a top 3 defensive team in the league. Last season, Indiana was only average on defense, and that's putting it nicely. They struggled in transition defense, had trouble securing defensive rebounds, and often couldn't get stops when it really mattered. A team can't win a championship like that, even if their offense is strong. What White is also pointing out is a big change in style. The Fever were already playing at a fast pace last season, ranking 5th in the league, but now they want to be even faster, aiming for top 2. That's a major shift in identity. And the important link is this: to play faster in a good way, you need strong defense. More stops, more rebounds, and more turnovers force chances to run in transition and score easy points.
Caitlin on the ball. This is what this drill is like for every one of them. Caitlin's on the ball here. You got Aaliyah here guarding this guy, but this guy is going to go over a set of screen on Caitlin. Caitlin's job is to go on top of the screen. There she goes on top, and Aaliyah Boston leaves her guy who set the screen briefly to hedge out here and help. And then she's got to, when she realizes that Caitlin got through the screen, she's got to get back to her guy, hand up to avoid a pass, and gets back.
Watch this defensive drill closely because it shows exactly what Stephanie White was talking about. It's already day 1, and they're doing high-intensity pick-and-roll defense with proper hedging. Notice Caitlin Clark's footwork as she fights to get over the screen. This isn't light training camp work, it shows serious defensive focus and positioning. Then look at Aaliyah Boston's hedge and recovery. It's very structured. She steps up to stop the ball handler from driving, giving Caitlin time to recover, and then quickly returns to her own player with her hand up to contest a pass. This kind of coordination doesn't just happen naturally. It's part of a system. It shows that Stephanie White is putting in a clear defensive scheme where every player has a defined role and knows exactly what to do in real game situations. And they are already practicing it intensely from day 1.
This is a handoff drill. And so you see Raven right here. She's got her eyes on her man. She's defending, but you also have to see the ball. Ball's up top. So you see that she turns, she sees ball, and then she sees her man. So you got to see ball. You got to see your man. Let's go full speed. Okay, so we're going to slow this down. In this
Now
drill,
we're looking at Raven Johnson, and this is exactly why Indiana's front office brought her in as a strategic addition. Her reputation coming out of South Carolina was built on strong defensive effort and the ability to guard multiple positions. In this handoff drill, her defensive readiness stands out. She is already in a low defensive stance before the handoff even happens, staying balanced on the balls of her feet. Her hands are active, and she's watching both the ball and her assigned player at the same time, showing strong awareness. When the handoff happens, she fights through the screen well. She doesn't go under it or get stuck. Instead, she stays connected to her defender, uses her body positioning, and works over the screen before quickly getting back into proper defensive position. That kind of pressure is what forces mistakes and creates fast break chances. It's the type of defense that disrupts offenses. This is exactly the kind of player Indiana wanted, someone who can take tough defensive matchups, create chaos for opponents, and fully commit to the defensive system Stephanie White is building.
I gotta stop right here. You see that? You see that look on her face? That was a one-handed, looks like a rebound, gets it, and just boom, one motion, just whips the pass to Major Hines Allen, who catches it, puts it in, and then turns and looks like, what in the world was that? And it reminded me of the All-Star game, Caitlin's rookie season, where she whipped a beautiful bounce pass to Jonquel Jones, and Jonquel turned around like, what?
This moment really shows what makes Caitlin Clark stand out, and it's not just her shooting or scoring. In this play, she grabs a rebound with one hand and immediately, in the same motion, spots Maya Hines Allen down the court and throws a perfect outlet pass that leads straight to a basket. The whole sequence happens in about 2 seconds. Hines Allen's reaction shows how unexpected it was. She looks surprised because the pass came so quickly and so accurately. Stephanie White has even pointed this out recently, saying that Clark does things that may look simple to fans but are actually very difficult at the professional level because of her vision, timing, and decision-making. This is why Indiana's focus on defense and rebounding is so important. If they can get stops and control rebounds, they can push the pace and give Clark more chances to create plays like this in transition, where the offense becomes much harder to stop.
That look on Jonquel's face, that turnaround was a thing of beauty. We talked about that a whole lot in 2024. Day one is in the books. Day two is already underway. Lots of footage. I love that the Fever shares so much footage with us.
That sequence we just saw feels very similar to a moment from the 2024 All-Star game, where Jonquel Jones had a similar stunned reaction. She turned around in disbelief after receiving a pass she didn't even see coming. That kind of reaction showed up a lot during Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Teammates would get into position, she'd deliver passes from unusual angles or split-second reads, and they'd finish the play before they fully processed what had happened. That's part of what people call the Caitlin Clark effect. It also helps explain why her assist numbers were so strong even with limited playing time last season. Now, heading into her second year with a full training camp, better defensive support around her, and a coach like Stephanie White who understands how to use her strengths, the potential for this offense is
super excited to be back here, and I think I have a great perspective on, camp and not taking anything for granted. Obviously, at this time last year I was kind of going through some things, so more than anything, just really excited. I feel really healthy and feel like I put myself in a position to be as healthy as I can be to start the season, and kind of just staying on top of that and having a lot of fun. I think I have, like I said, great perspective on everything, and excited with all the people that we brought in. It should be